So the question becomes, how do we develop leadership complexity? The complexity of mind of the leader. And that's where the leadership circle comes in. It's designed for this. A founding principle of the leadership circle is this. The organization cannot perform at a higher level than the consciousness of the leadership. The organization cannot perform at a higher level of performance than the consciousness of the leadership. Now, consciousness is a fuzzy word. It's not a business word. And, the more I'm running a business, the more it's like, what's that got to do with bottom line performance, right? So let's define it. Consciousness, in the way that we're going to talk about it today, is the operating system of performance. And I love the metaphor of an operating system here because most of us in the room, well, I don't know, I can't tell exactly, but some of us in the room remember DOS, right? We're old enough to remember DOS. I won't put that on you, but I'll put it on me, right? And we remember what it was like to work with DOS. And then it moved on to Windows, and then just recently on to Windows 7. Of course, I'm a Mac man, but let's not go there, okay? So, but the notion here is that with each leap step, now get the language, with each leap step evolution in the operating system, we were able to take on more complex tasks with greater speed, greater ease, greater mastery. It was the complexity that was designed into the operating system that allowed us to be that much more effective in our use of computers. Does this make sense? Right. And so this is a design principle. Structure determines performance. My dad was an engineer, so the design of something determines or predetermines its performance. So the design of our operating system, to apply this to our level of mental complexity, determines or creates the parameters for our level of effectiveness. Consciousness is the operating system of performance. It's a level of complexity of mind evolving through stages. DOS, Windows, Windows 7. And there's a whole body of research on this. But we see it. We see it in everyday life. This is my daughter, Catherine. Age 5, 10, 18. Now, I don't have to say any more, right? We get this notion of mind becoming more complex, more adapted to the complexity of the environment we're in the midst of or taking on, right? So here she is at age 5. They're living in a Disney World reality. Of course, my wife saw this picture. That's me, by the way, with her. My wife saw that picture and said, who's the one living in the imaginary world here? And, and by 10, that whole operating system has dropped away, and she's now reading the Guinness Book of World Records and learning complex tasks like how to sail. And then by 18, captain of the team, leading a group of women, young women, through the ups and downs of a season, taking a full curriculum, social life. A whole new level of mind booting up on a fairly regular basis. And we watch this happen. Turns out adults can do the same thing. Adults can evolve if they evolve, and they tend to only evolve in the pressure of an adaptive challenge from one operating system to the next to the next.